Oh, that's right. I forgot. Let me go back over there then.
And we are live. What's good, Josh? Your man, DL Saint. And look who's back, y'all. We got Jay Swans in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I really want to know podcast, man. It's a special episode, guys. Special episode. Um, if the FAA is hiring air traffic controllers, it's the bid is coming out. The bid is the job announcement is coming out. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, people. No experience needed. All you have to be is a high school graduate or equivalent, and we'll show you how to do the rest. They will train you, and if you could successfully complete the training, you're gonna be making six figures. Everybody wants to make six figures, right? Six figures, six pack, and the man, and all that other stuff. Well, here's one component right here that you can take care of. Six figures right here. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. Like I said, I was planning on doing a different show. I was going to do a show on family law and marriage and all of the stuff around that. We'll get to that later on in the week. But today, right now, we're going to talk about this, man. Jay, we got Sister Candace is in the house. What's good, love? How you feeling? Always a pleasure to see you. Good morning, brother DL, J Swans, and the chat. Good to see you, love. How you doing? I missed you a couple. I know you've been busy past couple days. Man, I saw that drama last night when I woke up this morning, and I'm talking about our people over there in Miami. I saw that drama at the door. Wow. We'll talk. We're going to I don't know. I need a Patreon. I'm going to have to set up a Patreon because I want to have some talks that I don't necessarily want to have on this platform. I want to have real talks with our people. I need to set up a Patreon.
Yeah, for real. I thought we was going to do that before so we could really talk. Like how we really
I was waiting to get to a certain amount of supporters and stuff like that. I'm almost at 1,400. So you know what? I'm gonna look into setting up a Patreon.
You need me to create a couple more accounts and
Hey man, make that happen, boy. Quit being lazy. Make that happen. You know what I mean? So Sister Candace, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. And so let's get into it, bro. Real quick. Y'all know that I'm a retired air traffic controller, and so is my brother right here. We're both paratroopers. Yeah. He went on to do some more high-speed stuff. We were in the same unit. We've been on some missions together. We have a long history going all the way back to 1990.
91, 92, huh?
91, 92 was right at the end of 91 when we met, going into 92. Yeah. That's crazy. Long time, man. You look old, bro.
Feel old. Feel old.
So tell everybody what you were doing as an air traffic controller, bro.
As an air traffic controller, let me see. I started out as a flight service specialist, which is basically you coordinate flight plans and weather phenomenon and that sort of thing to the aircraft. And then I went into being a tower controller. And then from a tower controller, I became an air traffic tower supervisor. And then from a supervisor, I became an air traffic manager, where I was actually in charge of the whole tower. So that's kind of where it is. And through my career, let me see, I've been the Western Pacific Regional President for the National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees. I won Facility of the Year for the entire nation for my level facility. What else, man? Created hiring programs and incentives to get more air traffic controllers, created that program. And wow, man, I don't know what else I've done.
That's a lot, man. And the reason I asked Brother Jay Swans to share all that with you guys, just so you know, he's a subject matter expert. So we're going to get into what we're talking about.
Yo, I don't know about that.
As far as air traffic goes, between you and I, man, that's over 50 years of air traffic control experience, bro.
Yeah, for real. But still, I don't know about the subject matter. Can I just be that? No, I can't say that. I was going to say, that cat that sits in the corner knows just enough to get himself in trouble.
Nah,
I didn't want to say cat, though. I was going to say the other one.
Yeah. I know you ain't been here in a while. Calm down. But no, man. And because in the air traffic world, in aviation, pilots look at the air traffic controllers and they're like, the air traffic controllers are God. And if that's the case, if we're God, the guy sitting next to me is God's supervisor. All right.
Oh, yeah, he's the manager. I was a runway safety analyst too, investigating runway surface incidents between air traffic and aircraft as well. I forgot about that. Oh, and a civil rights manager for the FAA too. I was a civil rights manager. Yeah, I guess I have done a lot, huh?
Done a lot, man. And then when you had your position as the regional rep for the coalition, right?
Yeah,
you glazed over that.
Regional president put some stank on that. Put some respect on me.
The regional president, he had me going around as his helper. I'm like, bro, you like, you hold these papers. Like, man, if you don't get them papers out of my face.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, those are the good old days.
The good old days. And I mean, there's more good days to come. We've just moved over from working for the government to being private citizens and possibly contractors. We still do the stuff. So this is why we're here, guys. We're here to let everyone know that this opportunity is here. There's some restrictions, there's some age restrictions, but the training is paid for. You're gonna have to be willing to travel. We're gonna get into all that right now. Jay Swans was nice enough to hook me up with some with what we need to show you guys and what we're doing here. This is an opportunity that you don't want to miss. If you're older and you have, young kids in your life, your children, or maybe some nieces and nephews, or just people you're mentoring, please show them this episode. Forward this episode to them. And if they're serious and they're your people, and y'all know me, hit me up on Instagram and I will do what I can to help them if they have any questions. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. This changed my life. Just so you guys know, this changed my life. Very, very fulfilling career.
Yeah, and it really surprises me. I hear people all the time saying, I wish I could do more. I wish I could do this. I wish I had that. And here's an opportunity that you're going to make more money than what you'll put you in the top, probably 5% of money earners in the country.
Yeah,
and I'm just guessing off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. So, and it doesn't require a lot. It just requires you to think the way they want you to think. And if they get that process going, they'll train you to do the rest. And the benefit package is amazing. We went through this before, and we talked about this earlier today, how frustrating it is when you hear people say they want to do this and do that. And well, here it is. It's time for people to put up, and we don't have to be here. Like, I got mine. Yep. And that's a fact. I got mine. And I'm just doing this out of the kindness of my heart, and I believe that, we need to get more of our young people to stand on our shoulders and go further and do more than we did. So hopefully, you guys let people know about this and we can make some things happen.
We certainly can. I'm sitting here right now just looking up what the top 5% of earners. So you're just outside the top 5% of earners with this position. You're just outside.
Oh, so you mean I'm only in the top 10? The top 10%?
No, you're still single digits. You're probably like somewhere between the 7-8 percentile. So it's real close.
Think about that. So you're making that much money and you're working no more than 10 hours a day. And you can't work 10 hours. You can't work more than 10 hours a day by law.
Yeah, the top 5% of earners make $335,891 per year. So you're just outside of that. Actually, depending on where you go, you could, in theory, hit that with the kind of overtime and stuff that they're getting now. So if you want to be in a single digit percentile of earners in the country, this is the position you want. So trust me, y'all. We're about to get into the details. We got Brother Tarus in the house. What's good, fam? With the $10 super chat, DL and Jay Swans. Appreciate that, bro. This is the standard button you use when you get super chats, and it's the Don DeMarco. You ain't know that, bro. Putting you on.
You're right. Like I said, my life is, I'm busy now, man. Like DL wanted to do this later on this week. I'm like, let me check with the boss. And she literally had the calendar full every day.
Like, what time? I'm like, bro, we ain't had this kind of conversation in about 5 years. What you mean, what time? What you doing? We'll be tired. Like, bro, I'm busy this week.
Wifey keeps it going, bro. So I mean, but yeah. I mean, and bro, like this is the career field that you can retire at 50. Quietly, you can retire at 25 years at any age. So if you mess around and start at 20, 21, you can retire at 45, 46.
Yeah, so the way FAA retirement works, just so you guys know, the way FAA retirement works is generally, with 25 years of service, you could retire at any age. With 20 years of service, you could retire at age 50. And it's mandatory as an air traffic control specialist at age 56. So like Brother Jay Swan just said, you can be retired with a full pension in your 40s.
Draw on Social Security if you want. Draw on Social Security at the same time.
Think about
that.
getting
It ain't
paid
nothing
to
but a
wake
thing.
up. Just getting paid to wake up.
Like now, that's what it is right now, bro.
Hey, man.
You know,
Hey. So,
that's
Brother
crazy.
Truce, thanks again for that, bro. I really appreciate that, brother. And we're about to get into the nitty gritty. But yeah, that's crazy though, huh?
Yeah, I get paid to wake up, for real. That's bananas, man. You know, that's truly a blessing. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she got to go to work.
Ah,
she
yeah,
got
don't
to
get
she got to
yourself in
keep her
trouble.
she got to keep her trophy husband in nice stuff.
Yeah, don't get
That's how
yourself
it
in
is.
trouble. Everybody likes to come on my platform, get themselves in trouble. I don't know why. I'm tired of people wives calling me up, mad at me for something their husband said. Yo, so
Nah,
anybody in the chat, oh, go ahead.
I say she at the gym right now, so we good.
You say because she's school because she can't hear. So
Exactly.
I appreciate everyone coming through here. Like I said, this please forward this, let people know, get the young people on board. This is a opportunity of a lifetime. And it's like I said, very rewarding, very challenging job. You gotta earn it. It's the training is challenging. You have to earn it. But if you work hard,
You know,
when you put your mind to it, you make it
it,
happen.
it's challenging, but like everything else, it's trained to succeed now. So I mean, just go there, do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be okay. They'll work with you. You just got to, it's trained to succeed. It's not like, well, we didn't have to go to the academy. They just told us to go to
It's
work.
different.
But
And
but
we're
like
not
when
even gonna talk about train to succeed. That's a whole nother episode, bro. We just gonna give
that
them the
makes
bare
sense.
bones.
But the training is difficult, but it's manageable. The academy is like going. It's like going to college. You get an apartment, which it's a full size apartment. You got a kitchen, couple bedrooms,
Washer and dryer.
Yeah, washer and dryer. They have you. I mean, it's better than nicer apartments that I had starting out. And they send you. And you go to class every day. You go to class at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. You get out of class 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You go study. You go home. It's just like college. All you have to do is be there and participate. That's all it is. A lot of people think that air traffic is this extremely difficult, career field to be in, but it's not. There's a lot of automation involved. There's a lot of, to me, air traffic is all about. It's not as much about the knowledge of it. It's more about the maturity. If you understand that you have a job, that you have a career, and people's lives are in your hand, and you understand that, and you're aware of it, then you'll do fine in this career field. I've seen people with less than, how can I put this and be nice? They weren't the sharpest tools in the box or whatever, but they were able to do air traffic because they understood the level of maturity that it took to do the job.
I mean, you could be Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump could be at Miami and he could talk to American 1526, Miami Tower, runway 8 right, cleared for takeoff. He can do that.
Yeah,
he can do that.
What have we always said? You don't get paid for what you do. You get paid for what you know, and what you do. Something goes wrong, and that's what it's all about.
Yep.
That's what problems. It is. Yes, and that's what it is.
Yep. You're there to solve problems. That's it. And it's,
No, go ahead, man.
You're there to fix. You're there to solve problems with an air traffic controller. And like Jay Swan said, if you focus and you do what you're there to do, you won't have any issues whatsoever. If you try to cut corners and look for cheat codes, you might have some problems. Brother Charus, Jay said he gets paid to figure out what side quest he wants to complete for the day. Yes, sir. And I tell you what, count me amongst those dudes. I figure out what side quest I want to figure out for the day. And today we're doing this side quest. We're trying to put people on. Bottom line. And there's my Instagram scrolling across the bottom. I'm serious, guys. Get this information out to those who can take advantage of it. And if those people are serious and I can help them, all you gotta do is reach out to me, DM me. I really want to know podcast, all one word. DM me there. Don't go find my privates. My Instagram is public.
Don't go find my privates.
Don't go find my private Instagram. Find the one that's public. This open to the public. It's a picture of me on stage doing stand up in front of a microphone. I really want to know podcast, all one word. DM me there, and I will do my best to help you. And when I'm not solving problems for you, I'm telling you where to find the answers. And I'll give you a task when you complete it, come back and I'll help you some more because I am not going to waste my time. If you're serious about this, I will help you, but I am not going to waste my time. And this guy right here ain't got no time to waste.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You see me, I keep looking at my watch like, got
Right.
things to
So
do.
let's
but
get
no, I
to
mean, but like, but D knows. I mean, like, you know, and like I've told my people, you know, I mean, these people is my people. Like I said, we've been rocking for over 30 years now. These people are my people. That's family. So, you know, if he tells me that, you know, he wants me to help with somebody, we got this. You know, I mean, we all over it. And I've helped lots of people get hired. Seriously, lots of
real
people.
talk. Real
So,
talk.
you know, and I mean, I had somebody just recently that did not think that she would be capable of becoming the air traffic controller. She didn't think that they'd even look at her. You know, we sat down with her and worked on her resume, got her some test information, worked her through on the test, and now she's just waiting for a class start date. And this is a young lady that did not even think that she would even get a look from these people. So we can make things happen. You know, we don't know people in positions to get you hired directly. You know, we don't know people like that, but we do know what they're looking for. And that's what we can help you with, you know. And my attitude has always been, you know, if you crack the door, I'm gonna kick it in. And that's what we're trying to teach y'all what to do. We're trying to teach y'all how to kick doors in. You know, we don't want y'all peeking in anymore. We want y'all in the room.
In the room,
to
getting
let y'all know
paid.
what it's all about.
Yep. And Brother Terusi's like, yeah, DL, you're always giving people real game, dead ass. You need your own college course. I mean, I appreciate that, bro. I really do. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know what my college course would be called. Hustle 101. You know what I mean? From the streets to the boardroom. We'll see.
Yo,
holla at me, Harvard.
Nah, you just take that UGK album, just make it the syllabus. The
Make it the
pocket full of
syllabus.
stones.
Pocket full of stones, baby. And they won't leave my ass alone.
So can you even say that? I thought you can't say that no more. Oh, you can't say that.
I can say that word.
You can't get
I can say that word. Yeah, you can't go with the other ones. Y'all know what the bad words are. So let's get into it right here, man. We know we've been kind of chit-chatting, and like Jay Swan said, man, he's a busy guy, so we can't mess around too much. In fact, I'm just gonna do this. I'll make this a full screen, and you just hear our voices in the background. So what are we looking at, bro?
Nah, this is what the FAA is sending out right now. This is the hey, you want to be an air traffic controller? We're hiring. Here's what you got to do. And that's basically what the screen is. And what they're showing you in the picture is an air traffic control tower. You know, I mean, that's what it looks like. And it's funny because I'm looking at there's a whole lot of buttons up there and all kinds of stuff hanging around. It looks like it's so intense. But then you get up there, it's like, oh, this ain't bad at all.
It's not bad at all.
It is not bad at all, man.
So and like right here, these TV screens up here, right? These are radars. You know what I mean? I guess they're still using like deep brights or whatever. These are just radar screens that have
RACDs.
RACDs.
I don't know what it stands for, though. And then, you know, you got the ground-based radar in the back room with the glasses. They got the ground surveillance radar.
Yes, you got that. So now you're looking at, and that's probably an ASDX, which is just another ground-based radar. You got this red phone over here. I don't know if you guys noticed this here. There's a red phone there. Like you see the guy with the red hat, look to his left, there's a red phone there. That's direct communication with the rescue personnel, fire department, the police, the airport ops, the airport office. Everybody, when you pick up that phone, the fire department, the fire guys run to their trucks and they just drive out onto the taxiway and wait for you to tell them where to go. So they don't even like whoever's answering the phone is just the guy who's supposed to man the phones. The firemen are already in the truck, they're rolling. The police are running out there, running into their squad cars. So you pick that thing up and it's like everything starts. And some airports have buttons. You push these buttons and it just opens the door to the garages. The fire department just jumps in their trucks and go. They mean business when it comes to safety. You know, air travel is the safest way to travel for a reason.
Yeah, you know, and the United States has the safest air traffic control system in the world. So, I mean, right there. And well, here, let's do this. So every tower has 3 basic positions, minus the supervisor position. You know, you have your local control position. Well, I'm talking about the 3 basic positions. I'm not going to get into assist and all that other stuff. But, you know, you got your local control position, which is the guy in charge of the runways and in charge of things going on in the air. Okay. Then you have your ground control position that's in charge of all the taxiways and the stuff going on the ground, minus the runways. So in order to cross a runway, he has to coordinate with the local controller. Then you have the flight data position, the guy that's in charge of dealing with flight plans and coordinating with the different aviation assets within the area. Okay. And on top of that, you have the supervisor or the CIC position, which monitors the entire operation. And those are basically the 3 basic positions in an air traffic control tower.
Yes.
And
And then
what
bigger
I'm looking at,
facilities you will have more of those positions. You might have an airport like Miami where they have
coordinators,
we have
assists.
coordinators and they will have more than one. So you have so many runways, you'll split the runways up between controllers. So you'll have
Yeah,
multiple local controllers, which are more than one person dealing with the runways and someone in the sky. And you'll have more than one ground controller. You'll have multiple ground controllers. Places like I think Dallas has multiple
LAX.
towers. Well, Dallas has multiple
Yeah,
towers.
Dallas has North and South Tower. Yeah,
They have,
and
they have, they have duplicated 2 control towers with controllers, and they split the airport into different parts. So, I mean, it gets very complex. But yeah, what Jay Swan says is true. That's just in a nutshell. That's how it works.
yeah. I mean, looking at this setup right here, they got a local ground that looks like a flight data position, and they got a CIC running the operations. What you can see from there, and that's a basic operation. Now, when you get into radar facilities and and centers and TRACONs, that's a whole other thing. And
Yeah, that's a whole nother TV show, y'all. But trust me, in all these places, they work hard and do great work. So let's get back to it. So I'm gonna scroll down. Jay Swanson's gonna be doing most of the talking on this, guys. So this is the application window. They say it's open for May 5th, May 5th to 8th
May
of
5th
this
through
year. Yep. And say don't miss out. Prepare
yo,
your application now. So here we go.
yo, and here's the thing, y'all. Don't wait until the 5th to start the process, because I mean, I know one year they had like 30,000 applicants, and it shut the system down. I think it shut it down last year too. Actually, I think the system went down last year a couple times. Excuse me.
So you want to do it. You want to do it now.
Yeah, don't wait. Go to USA Jobs, and as we scroll down, there's a link for all that stuff in this thing here. But as we scroll down, go to USA Jobs and set your profile up now. Set your profile up now. Get your resume together now. Get into the system now. So that way, when it comes time to put your application in for the position, all you got to do is click, apply,
submit,
and that's it. Yeah, submit. You don't want to be screwing around trying to get your stuff together at the last minute. And I don't know why, but it seems like a lot of y'all like to do that and then get frustrated and get mad because it doesn't work. Be proactive, not reactive.
And you guys got to understand that this system was built by the lowest bidder, right? This is still government stuff. So don't think I'm gonna go in there a couple hours before and be able to give them everything you want, because it's not like applying for IBM. Is IBM still around? Or it's not like applying for a Fortune 500 company. The systems that the government used for its application process isn't necessarily the best system on the planet. So with that in mind, you got to start way early. Early. So here's right. It says be ready. So we'll scroll down. I'll let Jay Swans take over.
No, I mean, here's the basic qualifications. You be a U.S. citizen. I mean, green card, whatever. Be a U.S. citizen. All right. Be younger than 31. It takes a while to get hired. You'll apply, and you might not hear anything. I think the young lady that applied here, I don't think she heard anything for 6 months. But you're in the system. It just takes the government time to process. All right. 3 years of general work experience. Okay. General work experience. That means if you spend 3 years flipping burgers or making fries at McDonald's, you have 3 years of work experience. Okay. Do not let that scare you. Okay. A 4-year education leading to a bachelor's degree. Okay. Now, mind you, if you went to school for 3 years and you've been working for a couple of years, you have the stuff you need. Okay. So don't disqualify yourself. Let them disqualify you. Speak English clearly. That goes without saying, y'all. Just speak English. Come on. And even that, I can tell you from experience, clearly has different meanings to different people. Okay. And they're still getting hired. And here's the other thing. Be willing to relocate. It really bothers me when somebody, they want this position, but they don't want it enough to have to move to get it. Okay. You know what? If you're not willing to move, don't bother applying, honestly, because most likely you are not going to go exactly where you want to go. All right. It's like the military in the sense of you go where they need you. You're going to go to Oklahoma for training. And then when you leave Oklahoma, you're going to go where they need you. And right now, where they need people at is all over the country. The places where they need people most, it's the usual suspects: California, New York, and Alaska. Okay. Yep. If you're trying to get hired the fastest, put in from one of those places, one or all of those places. If you don't mind sitting around and waiting for a little while, let's say you're 25 years old and you got time, put in for Miami, Florida. Put in for,
Fort
what you call
Lauderdale.
it, just put in for them places and, sit around and wait for a while. Just don't do anything to disqualify yourself. And I've always told people, the longer you wait for something, the more opportunity you have to screw it up. So be ready.
And the one big thing here that we glossed over, but this is very important: be registered for selective service if you are a man. If you are a male and you were born after December 31st, 1959, right? You must register with selective service. So if you're 18, 19, 20, whatever, 21 years old, and you want this position, make sure you're registered. It's real easy to do that. I think you can do it online now. It's very simple, very easy.
Wow. So cats ain't registered for selective service automatically?
No.
I mean, you deal with these cats more than I do. I mean, I just
a lot of people don't realize they still have to do it. And that's the biggest thing. They don't realize they have to do it. When we were in school, it was pushed.
Yeah.
But it's not pushed anymore. They don't talk about it. But fellas, you must do this if you want a federal job, even for federal grants, federal loans, anything.
Yeah, anything federal. They're asking for that.
You must have that, guys. So make sure you do that. Ladies, you don't have to. Yeah. So for those ladies who are upset and they want to register with selective service, we could just go ahead and start a petition. And let's fight the fight, sisters. That got to give you true equality. You guys should be registered for the draft as well, in my opinion. But there you go.
Here he goes. All right. There you go.
That's it. I'm done. I ain't gonna say it. I'm just saying. I believe in equality. I'm a feminist. What do you want me to do?
Really?
Brother Mandrell's in the house. What's good, fam? How you feeling? Good to see you, man. He registered for selective service as a Green Beret in the house. So it continues on, man. It says it's a tough job. Got what it takes? ? So what's this part?
What does it have? What it takes?
Look, you sent me this. I don't know if you want to just scroll down or what's the next part. We want to get into the application.
Said, what's this part? I'm like, I don't know what this says. Do you got what it takes? I mean, it's like I said, it's not a tough job. I mean, it used to be really bad. I mean, like back when our pops was doing it and such, back in the the 70s and the 80s, maybe the early 90s. It used to be really bad. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie Airplane, where they're sitting up in the tower and sniffing glue and going crazy. I mean, yeah, and even as a kid, my father used to work at LAX, and I would go up there and hang out, and them people was always all strung out. But the system, just like everything else, has gotten better. The automation has gotten better. So the job, it can be difficult, but it's not as stressful as people would lead you to believe. It's difficult, but it's not going to have you, up all night and having heart palpitations and, dreaming about the end of the world.
Exactly, man.
There's jobs out there that I tell people all the time. My mother-in-law is a teacher, and her job is way tougher than anything I've had to deal with as an air traffic controller. Yeah,
that's a job I wouldn't take. And Brother Mandrell says, "What's up, big bro? What's up with you, fam? Always good to see you, man." And Brother Mandrell is doing really good. He has a virtual training business. Physical. He's a personal trainer, and he has so anybody's interested. Mandrell, drop your link in there, bro.
Mandrell got an OnlyFans
for working out. And actually, that's one of the phrases you can't say. You got to say OF.
OF. You can't say oh. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, boy, they getting, you know what I'm saying? They getting Third Reich with it, bro.
Did I just get you demonetized?
Maybe we'll see. I'll pull it up.
Shoot, if that's the case, then I can go all in then.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet. That's what I'm saying. They give you a couple strikes and then they go crazy. So let's talk about the application process.
The application process.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I can see it probably a little clearer than you can. The application process. You can see it? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we good. No, I mean, I'm not going to read it exactly, but I mean, the process is you put your resume together, you submit your resume on usajobs.gov. Okay. Once you submit your resume and you meet all the qualifications they talked about beforehand, what happens next is, if they like you, they'll have you take a test, an assessment. Okay. And I think you'll take one. Girl, she took one prior to the 3.5 hour one. Just to kind of, I think because of her resume, but she had to take one. After you, anyway, I'm just babbling. If they like your resume, what they'll do is they'll have you go down. Like, girl, she went down to Tampa. And she went down there for 3.5 hours and she took the test. And she said the training materials that we put her through was way more difficult than the test. Okay. Now, once you complete that test, you're put into a different rankings. You have highly qualified, and then after that, it don't even matter. Oh, there you go. He put his joint up there.
That's it, Brother Mandrell. Online fitness and nutrition coaching. Just send me a DM on Instagram, or message me on Facebook. His IG is right there, guys. Please support Brother Mandrell. He's doing good things. So okay, and real quick, I wanted to before you continue, I wanted to run back on one quick thing. We glazed over it. I wanted to stress it. Be younger than 31 years old before the closing date of the application period. All right, with limited exceptions.
Yeah, but
so guys,
you know what that is? That's that military stuff. The limited that's not going to pertain to anybody here.
Right. So basically, you have to be younger than 31. So you have to be 31 or younger, or is it? You can't be 32.
If you're hired, if you turn 31 and if you turn 31 December 1st and they hire you December 2nd, you can't take that job. They won't hire you December 2nd.
Okay.
So you have to be hired. Like you have to get your letter that says my start date is, December 1st, that kind of thing. So once again, look, if you're that close, if you're within 6 months of your 31st birthday, I recommend you apply. Okay. If you got like 30 days, you might as well let it go. I mean, you can shoot your shot. I mean, you know me. If you don't shoot, you can't score, right? But it's going to be difficult at that point. So if you've got within 6 months of your 31st birthday, I would apply. So, but no, back to the test. So it's 3.5 hours, like it says there, and and it's a test. It's intense. It's not undoable. And like I said, she said that the training materials we provided for her and put her through were way more difficult than the actual test itself. Okay. Then you have the medical and security program. I mean, past medical and security clearance stuff. Security clearance, depending on where you're going, but for the basic stuff, all it is a normal background check with a public trust clearance. Okay. You're going to go take the piss test. So get ready for it. So, basically if y'all smoking, just stop.
Just stop.
Okay? Just stop. And, just get it out of your system. Just stop. But it's going to be the standard piss test. I'm not going to pull hair. They're not drawing blood, nothing like that. It's a standard piss test. Your security clearance is going to be a public trust clearance. So it's a basic background check. I mean, we had secret clearances in the military, and they were way more difficult than the clearance here. Now, as you progress in your career, you will have different levels of clearances at that time. My clearance as a controller was different than my clearance as a manager. But
by that time, you'll be a paid employee. So those are good problems to have.
Yeah, it's definitely. So don't stress over security clearance. They're looking for stuff like, have you had any major felonies as an adult? Have you, domestic violence, drug charges as an adult, that sort of thing.
Bank robbery. Yes. Bank armed robbery. There's a reason I say this armed robbery. Believe it or not, there was an air traffic controller that was going around robbing banks in San Francisco. That's another story for another day. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, really. But the medical clearance, just be generally healthy. I couldn't tell you exactly, but just be generally healthy with no mental health issues, that sort of thing. At least nothing documented. Okay. So those of you that are in the military, okay, and you've gotten out of the military, but you still fall, within the age range for this career field, know that the FAA does not access your VA medical records. And I will leave it at that. So anything that the VA is aware of, okay, the FAA is not aware of. Okay, they do not.
I will say that one more time. The FAA has no idea what the VA is doing. Reference your military and post-military careers, ladies and gentlemen.
So those of you that have been deployed in foreign countries in time of war and you are receiving VA benefits, okay, for various reasons, the FAA does not know about that. They cannot know about that unless you tell them about that. Okay?
And they don't ask.
Exactly. Okay? So I'm trying to think what else. Oh, you got to take the psyche vow, which is the personality inventory test. Okay, y'all. Do you prefer the feel of a cold knife in your hand, or do you like the smell of flowers? The answer is I like to smell flowers. Okay, keep it simple. Okay, don't try to analyze it. Don't try to freak it out and figure it out. Keep it simple. Okay.
Well, Freud said if I like the cold, holding a knife is like loving puppies. Like, nah, they're not. That Freud didn't make this test. All right.
No, you don't want that. Standard fingerprinting, the federal background check, and like I said, it's like, it's just a background check. It's not a big deal. Okay. So that's stuff.
Yeah. Probably this background check may not be as in depth as a background check you would take to work at a bank, to be honest with you.
Yeah, really. It's not that it's not that intense. Kind of surprised. Hey.
Yeah. So let's talk about training.
Oh, could you hand me the charger, please? It's over there. The training of third-party media. Oh, it's a YouTube video of it. Oh, okay. The training, the academy training, like I said before, it's just like going to college. You go to class, you get up, you go to class. It's book work. You're going to do book work for a couple of weeks, and then you go into a lab. And the lab is where you learn how to actually, talk to planes. And once again, it's all a basic thing. There's nothing that's that intense about it.
Right. So when they talk about training and you get into Oklahoma for your basic training there, for lack of a better term, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that difficult. All you have to do is adhere to the schedule. Don't go out every night drinking beers or whatever. Stay focused. You get your weekends off. Right. If you want to go out and let loose, you can let loose on the weekends. Yeah. It's paid training. Some of the facilities that the FAA contracts with for you to stay, like some of the properties, they provide 2 meals a day even.
Yeah. And this thing, the money that they pay you to go to school, they also pay you per diem, and they give you money for your housing and food. So you're getting a salary, and on top of your salary, you're getting additional money so you can live. So they're paying for you to be there, and they're paying you for being there. That don't even sound right.
You're getting paid to learn.
Yeah.
Paid to learn. So let's talk about the hours of air traffic controllers.
You work all the time. I mean, that it's simply, well, it depends. If you go to a facility that's a 24-hour facility, you could be scheduled to work anytime within those 24 hours. So, a standard schedule, 6 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to 6.
Right. And here's the thing, guys, when it comes to air traffic controllers, 8 hours a day, not to exceed 10. It's 5 days a week, not to exceed 6. This is the law. This is the law. The most you can work is a 10-hour day for 6 days. That is the most you can work.
And you get, and you get a paid lunch. So when you're working 8 or 10 hours, you're paid for 8 or 10 hours. That includes your lunch. It's not like normal when you work like in an office where you work 8.5 hours.
8.5. Yes.
No, it's 8 hours, and that includes all your breaks and everything.
And another thing to realize too, people, if you're an air traffic controller, you're not sitting there talking to airplanes for 7 hours, then you get 4 hours, then you get like a 30-minute lunch. You come back for. It's not like that. It's not like you're clocking in and you're stuck there. No, you cannot work. Well, let's put it this way: if you're working over 2 hours consecutively without a break for a long period of time, say a few weeks or a month, the FAA will send a team of people in to find out why you're working like that. Why aren't you getting breaks?
Yeah. And you'll get breaks. I mean, being in management, nothing frustrated me more as often as controllers would get breaks. And they get a lot of breaks. Let's just call it what it is. A regular job is what, 2 20-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch. Controllers, at some places, once again, this depends on your staffing, hour on, hour off. Instead of 20-minute breaks, take a 40-minute breaks. Lunch. Hey, the guy making the lunch run is actually going out and getting food. That guy's going to be gone for an hour and a half. I mean, it is
getting his car washed. He's going to check out a movie. Yeah. But here's the thing. Being the other side of that, being the union guy, being the regular non-management type, we're like, yeah, there's no need to work people. But when it's time to step up and actually work, we're shorthanded. If there's weather, if there's a special event, let's say that there's fires or whatever, controllers will step up and work hard. And a lot of controllers will skip over breaks.
Come on. Say that with a straight face.
Yeah, well, at my facility, I don't know what's going on at the facilities you work.
Controllers will be like, my dog is sleeping, and I need to make sure he sleeps comfortably, so I can't be there for this. I know it's a fire, but I can't.
So now y'all get to see what really goes on inside the curtain between management and non-management types. But the point being, the
majority of people step up when it's needed to happen.
Yes, and you're not a slave to the airplanes. You're not shackled to your position. you get breaks. So when we say like 8 to 10, no more than 10 hours. And when you have to work 10 hours, 2 of those hours are overtime, guys.
Yes.
The overtime benefit, like the pay benefits, we're about to get into this. The pay structure is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, overtime, or you convert it to. I mean, a lot of times because controllers are so well paid. I mean, I personally I didn't like overtime because it started messing with my tax base. So I would take credit time, and once I got into management.
And let's explain to them what credit time is.
Credit time is leave. It's like vacation time. So, or like PTO. For a lot of people who don't work for the government, it's PTO, paid time off. And when you work for the FAA or any federal government job, you get two separate banks. You get paid time off for vacation, and then you get paid time off for sick leave. Okay. And when you first start, you get 4 hours of vacation time every 2 weeks, and you get 4 hours of sick leave every 2 weeks as well. And I think after you've been in the FAA for, I want to say 3 years, I think you get 6 hours of vacation time every 2 weeks, but you maintain the same 4 hours of sick leave time every 2 weeks. So basically, you're getting 10 hours of time off every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that doesn't count the paid time off that Jay Swans is talking about. So let's say that Jay Swans and our controllers at the same facility, and Jay Swans wants the day off, and I'm off. He can come to me and say, "Hey, man, I need you to work Monday for me, and I'll work for you on Thursday," because he needs Monday off and he doesn't want to take any of his, vacation time. And I can say, "All right, bro, I ain't doing nothing. I'll work for you." So I'll go in, I'll work those 8 hours, and those 8 hours I'm working will be 8 hours that goes into a separate bank that's we call credit time, which is paid time off. There's a cap on credit hours that you can work. However, I can do that up to the cap. I forget what the cap is. I don't know if it's 16 hours or something like that.
It used to be 25 hours for you. I mean, I didn't have a cap because I was in management, but you guys had caps. I want to say it was 25. Now, once again, this is 3 years ago, or whatever. So who knows what it is now. But yeah, there used to be a cap of about 24 hours. So what people would do a lot of times is they work until they got 24 hours of credit time, and then they would take 3 days off. kind of thing. Yep. And then they would start to do it all again, that sort of stuff.
Yep. So if I got if I wanted to take a weekend, I want to go to Medellin for the weekend, for my weekend. Let's say I'm off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I want to go to Medellin. I can use credit time for the whole trip if I wanted to, and save my vacation time. I could work those 4 days and use credit time for the whole trip, and then come back to work. Refreshed and recharged, fresh off the plane from Medellin. So that's beautiful. That paid time off is called credit time, credit hours. So again, this career field was is like the best career you can possibly get when it comes to paid time off, when it comes to vacation time, when it comes to sick, you get maternity leave and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of this stuff is guaranteed.
Yeah, the union is amazing. And that's coming from me. Like I said, I started as a controller and then got into management. The union is amazing. I don't agree with everything that they do or the way they do it, but they are effective. And when I was a controller, I agreed with everything they did. They could set fire to stuff. I'd be like, hey, as long as I get my stuff, I don't care. Right. But I got into management. It was a little bit difficult sometimes. But the union truly is amazing. I mean, the union is strong. They're the only union in the federal government that gets to negotiate pay. Yes. So this is another reason why these controllers are so well paid. So, if you do decide to get into this career field, join the union as soon as possible. Get involved with them. Get active with the union. And that'll help you in your career. I mean, I was a union rep for a while, and then I got into management, which is funny because they frown on you being a union rep and going into the union frowns on you going into management, but then most of the managers are former union reps, so it's hilarious. So I mean, definitely, it's the pay is amazing, the benefits are amazing, the union is top notch. So
and the name of the union is the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. That's NACA, National Air Traffic Controllers Association, and the union is has a very strong political wing, which is separate, but it's a legal political action committee. I'm telling you. If you guys get into this field, you definitely want to invest in the union. You're not forced to join the union simply because Yeah.
It's highly encouraged.
Highly encouraged. You don't have to be in a union. You don't have to pay the union dues. But when you get in trouble, and you will get in trouble, if you want the union to help you out, it's best you're in the union. Because if you're not in the union, they will simply be there and watch you get smoked. They will sit there and watch. And that's their right. Because union has the right to be present and they'll watch you get smoked. So it behooves you to be a part of the union. So we're moving on to pay. So they even got a picture.
Oh yeah. I know what that is too, but that's enough.
It's another conversation.
Yeah. But no, okay, so what you're seeing there, the trainee pay, the academy pay, that's academy pay, so 34 to 35,000. That's what you get paid at the academy. Now, mind you, you're only at the academy, 3 or 4 months, 6 months at the most. I've never heard anybody being there longer than 6 months. And so the way the government works is they put out a yearly salary regardless. Okay. So I'm not sure what that breaks down to a month, probably $3 or $4 grand a month or something like that. But that's what you make at the academy base. That does not include your per diem money, which I don't know what it is anymore. But
did you want me to click it? They got it right here. Do you want me to click it or no?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, click the per diem thing.
So here it is.
$102 a day.
$102.80 per day. That's $62.40 for lodging and $40.40 for meals and I guess incidentals. So there you go.
So an extra $500 a week. No, actually, that's for 7 days. So an extra $700 a week. If you can't eat on $40 a day, you might want to revisit yourself. All right?
Something wrong.
You might want to get on the Fat Boy program. You know what I mean? So I mean and mind you, some of those places you stay at, they give you 2 meals a week.
Two meals. They give you 2 meals and they're not charging you. So you're pocketing that per diem depending on where you stay.
So what you do is you go there, you go to the grocery store, you get yourself some ground beef and some hamburger helper. You get
what it is.
Yeah, come on now. And add some extra rice to it or some extra noodles. You'll be all right.
That's it. That is it. Put some tuna in there, get some canned tuna, dump it in there, man. You're golden.
There you go. There you go. See, that's all you got to do. Y'all know how it is. Come on. And then so you're there for a couple of months, and then you get out of there and you go to your facility. Now, what you're seeing there is that 43,727. So that is the base pay of I want to say it's like a D3 or D1, whatever the bottom of the developmental pay scale is. That's the base pay. That does not include the cost of living of where it is you're going. Okay. So if you go to, I know in San Francisco, in the Bay Area in California, the cost of living was like 38 or 39%. So you would get 39% of that 43,000. That would be on top of that. So figure out what 39% of 43,727 is, and then add that on top of that. What's there?
I mean, just call it half. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
really.
call it half.
Yeah.
So you're looking at getting, roughly, let's just call it what?
Almost probably
22,000.
Probably about 65. I think the controllers are making $65,000, $70,000 walking in the door. And then as you progress in your training, you get pay raises. Like Jay Swan's mentioned, like the D3, developmental 3. It goes up to developmental 1, and then it goes up to completion of training. Yeah. Each time you do that, you go up. And once you get to a certain part in training, you receive, in some places that are hard to staff, controller incentive pay. Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, you get that. You get that as well. And you get that once you certify on, okay, remember those 3 positions we talked about before? Ground, flight data, and local. Once you certify on a control position, we were actually talking to planes moving around, which would be ground control, would be the first control position you get. Okay, you start getting what's called controller incentive pay. All right, which is another, I forgot what that percentage is, but that's more money on top of, I want to say that was like $300-$400 a month. They were getting on top of that. Yeah. So I know that people walking in the door, like they showed up to facilities, and I want to say in Sacramento, they were showing up making about $77,000 a year, walking in the door. Okay. And then when they were done training, making about 120.
And there's one other aspect of training we didn't bring up. So once you start this training process and you're working, you're completing your training, like, okay, you're good enough to work this position by yourself. Now you can work at night and you can work on weekends. If you
Oh,
work at night, you get extra pay. And if you work on weekends or Sunday, you get
night
extra
differential,
pay.
Sunday pay. Yeah, I forgot about
Night differential and Sunday pay. All these things add up. So if you're going to a place like San Francisco or LAX or something like that, or one of those airports in those vicinities, and I just know that because I was in California.
Yeah.
Most of the developmentals were making $100,000 within a matter of months.
Oh yeah, not even. They were making that at the small facilities. I want to say that a developmental, once they got through ground control, most of them were making around $95,000 to $100,000. In San Francisco, they're probably making about 120 to 130 easily once they get one position.
And you're still training people. Now, the thing with the FAA, your first year, you're under a probation period, which means you could be fired for anything. That sounds kind of harsh, but here's the thing. Those 12 months go by fast because you're training.
Yeah, and here's the thing is the FAA does not want to fire you because they've already invested so much money into you. By the time you show up at your facility, they've invested a couple $100,000 into you. So they say you can be fired for anything. I've only seen one person fired from the FAA, and he actually got his job back within that probationary period. You know, that's part of being part of the union, kids. You know,
want to be part of the union, kiddos.
But that's the only time. So I mean, I would not stress over that. As long as you ain't doing nothing, you know, you're not having drug issues, you're not out having DUIs, you know, nothing like that, then you'll be fine.
You'll definitely be fine. Right, so what I'm doing now, guys, for you guys who are watching this, I'm just pasting the link to what we're reading here. If you guys want to send this to someone, or if you qualify yourself, please send them this information. And again, if they have any questions at all, hit me on my Instagram. Just DM me on my Instagram. If I can't handle it, I got my man Jay Swans right here. And between the two of us, we'll be able to square you away. So we covered all that. Go ahead, bro.
I'll say we'll put you in touch with somebody.
Absolutely. We'll definitely get you squared away. If you're serious, we'll get you squared away. And I will be testing you. Y'all think I'm playing. I will be testing you. I give you a mission. If you don't accomplish that mission, I ain't talking to you no more. I know how to block people.
And I know, you know, we make it sound, you know, like it sounds kind of harsh, but the problem is that you get tired of talking about it. You know, like initially, you know, these things would come in and we'd be screaming it out to everybody. Hey, they're hiring. And they get, you know, and then you start hearing the excuses. Oh, well, you know, my ankle hurts, or, you know,
my ferret is sick.
Yeah, my dad knew somebody that knew a cousin that had a friend that was an air traffic controller, and you know, and they said it's a really hard job. So I just, you know, and I'm like, I don't care. If you don't want to do it, just say I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, don't tell me you know, we don't want to hear I just don't think I can. All right. If you don't think you can, then don't even waste my time, because, you know, you've already defeated yourself. And that's frustrating. You know, step one is believe in yourself. All right. Have a little swag, be a little cocky. You know what I mean? I got this. I'd rather have you come in and be cocky and get humbled than come in and just be like, well, I don't know if I can do this. I can't work with jelly. You know what I mean? I can't work with it. You know,
I'm like Senior Drill Sergeant Hartman in Full Metal Jacket. If you get to the top of the obstacle and you want to quit, I'm going to let you quit. You want to quit? Well, quit. Get off my obstacle. I wish I could curse right now. I wish I could say verbatim what he said to Private Powell. Get the F off my obstacle.
For real.
Quit. That's how we feel.
I tell you, and D gets on me about this. He says, you know, I hold everybody to my level, you know, and he gets on me about this, but that's how I'm built, you know, everybody. So if you come in there and you want it, you know what I mean? You could be dumb as a rock. If you want it, you know what I mean? I'll bend over backwards to help you. You know, I'll do everything I can to make it happen. If you come in there and you know, you're whining and you're like, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's really hard. Okay, you're right. It is. Have a nice day. Don't waste my time.
Right.
That's just me. You know, and I'm sorry if I sound a little harsh, like I said, because D gets on me about that. He'll always say, well, what if we talked about basic training. He's like, what if your platoon wins platoon of the cycle or something? And, you know, aren't you going to celebrate? I'm like, no, they're supposed to win platoon of the cycle. That's my platoon. I'm not going to celebrate. Why do I celebrate something that's supposed to happen?
If you my platoon, we go platoon of the cycle, we having a party. I'm sorry. That's who we're going to get you squared away. But I get where Jay Swans is coming from. I ain't mad at it.
That's just me, though. I'm like that. You know, I'm all about winning.
This guy lost the state championship basketball game, and he went and watched the other team celebrate.
I'm all about winning. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Ricky Bobby. What is it? Second is the first loser.
The first loser. So,
No.
but yeah, I mean, my thing is just don't waste my time. If
Yeah.
I will help you out, I will go the distance. Y'all know me. If you're in a hole and you struggling, I'll jump in that hole with you and we can work our way out together. But
Yes.
don't waste my time.
And that's where we're at on this. I mean, that's why, I mean, because it's gotten to the point now where I don't really like doing this anymore, because what do you always say, that I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze.
That's it, bro. That's
And there
it,
you
bro.
go. So I mean, I want to see young people come up. I want to see, I want to see young people get on my shoulders and do more and go further than I've gone. I want that.
Yes.
And if you got that energy, then come on with it. I know I forgot. You hate hearing about energy.
I mean, it is what it is. We got Brother Damien in the house, man. What's good, fam? Thanks for coming through, man. I always good to see you, brother. We over here talking about air traffic control. The FAA is hiring air traffic controllers off the street. No experience necessary. They will pay you to train you. And this is what we're talking about right here. You have to be 31. You have to be younger than 31 at the time that you apply. And we've kind of gone through this. This is my man, Jay Swans. He's the air traffic manager. We're both retired. We're both from the FAA. We were both in the United States Army in the same unit. Shout out to Bravo Company, 1st of 58th, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Both paratroopers. So, we're just here doing our best to try to help help everyone. That's another thing too. A lot of people you're just trying to help our people. We want to help anyone that wants to better their life. I don't care where you come from, what bubble you in. If you want to better your life, come holler at me.
Hey, motivation has no color. You know what I mean? So that's how I.
It does have a color. It's green, and I want you to get as much green as you can. Stay motivated and make everybody money.
That's pretty good. I didn't even think about that. You're right. It is green. You're right.
It's green. So let's get that green. All of us get that green. So let's talk about benefits, bro.
I don't know, the standard government package, man. Medical, retirement. You get the TSP, which is basically a 401k, and you get your leave. Like I said, you get 8 hours a day. You get 8 hours of leave a month for sick leave, regardless. And on top of that sick leave, you're gonna get. I know when I left, we were getting 8 hours of pay period, so we were getting 8 hours of we were getting 16 hours of vacation time and 8 hours of sick time every month. So basically 24 hours of time off every month. Not to mention, you could also earn credit time in there. So you can add another 24 hours, 25 hours. So basically you're looking at 50 hours of time off every month.
Every month. And that has a dollar amount attached to that, y'all. But let's talk about the thrift savings plan, right? That's the federal government's version of a 401k.
Yeah.
If you get into the agency young enough and you are just average with your TSP, how you move the money around, you could literally, by the time you retire at age 45 or 55, whatever let's say 56, you could have $2 million in your TSP, depending on what the market does, easily.
If you don't play with it.
If you don't play with it.
Don't watch it every day. I know cats that was in there every day watching it.
If you just do a basic strategy, you allow the matching, max out your TSP, allow the government will match. Don't touch it. Just be smart where, what fund you have it in, especially towards the end, your last 4 or 5 years. You don't want to be risking it. You want to make sure you're in the correct fund. You could, and I'm not exaggerating. There are guys out there that I know that have had, upwards of $2 million in their TSP.
Yeah. Max it out. I think the government match is 5%. And then,
don't get me the line on it. Yeah, I don't want to lie. And and I can, if anyone's interested, we can get people who can come and tell you exactly how the TSP works.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just know max it out. Put the max in you can right away, so that way you just get used to not having it.
And work. You'll work 1 day of overtime, a pay period, and that'll take care of that. You know what I mean? You won't even miss it.
You get those flexible spending accounts for like your medical stuff. I never messed with that. I just paid for my medical, and I was like, but I had kids. So when, you got kids, they get sick, they break stuff, you just got to have your medical. But they have the flex spending accounts for medical and dental, time off, paternity time. Everybody, is all the crap that's going on with the government right now. I'll tell you right now, the government is the best place to work. I mean, look, the private sector expects results. The government, all you got to do is just be a body. Be what you're supposed to be.
That's so sad, but it's true. That's true. And it's recession proof. The government ain't worried about no recession. The government's not worried about this whole commercial real estate thing. They don't care. The government ain't worried about Silicon Valley Bank and all the rest of it. This is recession proof.
I'm telling you, and then when the government does that whole shutdown thing and they're not paying nobody, you still got to go to work. It is what it is. And I know as a manager, when that was going on, the controllers were working, I realized that none of us were getting paid. So, they was getting excessive breaks because I'm like, look, I got to give them some incentive to be here. And you get all that money back.
Yes. All of it.
You get it all back.
All of it.
So, if they don't pay you for 2 weeks, you're getting 2 weeks back pay. So don't stress on that. And, and
you got some time off awards on top of it.
Oh, yeah. Telling you, I got one cat, $1,000 cash award. If you're an air traffic controller and you sitting around paycheck to paycheck, you might want to revisit your life for real.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the job, bro.
Yeah.
But there are people who do it. There are people that, Brother Charus, can talk to you about that. There are people who mismanage their money. It is what it is. But this is an opportunity for you to change your life, change the lives of your family, your children, your grandchildren. This is the way, y'all. So here it says, I've read everything above. I'm eligible. I'm ready to apply. What now?
Yeah.
So I guess we would go to USA Jobs.
Yeah, you would go to USA Jobs and here they're just telling you what you got to have. You got to have your resume. Okay. And once again, I worked with a cat that he was working at Walmart a year before he showed up there. All right. He was a checker at Walmart. All right. So get your resume together. If your whole thing is I got a bachelor's degree in basket weaving, all right, bring your transcripts. Okay. If you got the college training incentive, the CTI program, you know what? Bring your paperwork for that. And if you don't know what that is, then you don't have it. It's that simple. Right. All right. Previous experience. If you work for the government before you're trying to transfer over, you know what an SF50 is. All right. If you don't know what that is, you ain't got one. Okay. Veterans preference points. It's the standard, 5 and 10 point preferences. All right. You got a DD 214. And if you just got out of the military, I really encourage you to apply for this because they're going to look at you. I can almost guarantee they're going to look at you. Top of the list.
You're top of the list if you're former military.
So no matter what you did in the military, you can go from being I don't know. They still have quartermasters that do laundry.
No, I think they contract that out. To be honest with you.
I don't know. But if you can go from being a cook, all right, to a general, as long as you make as long as you make the age thing, they're going to look at you. So I suggest you put that in. And if you don't know if you have 5 or 10 points, it'll explain all that to you on the thing. Don't worry.
And for some of you knuckleheads out there, knucklehead soldiers, Marines, airmen, sailors, Coast Guard folks, all you need is a discharge under honorable conditions. That's the baseline. Anything above that,
that's
it.
So all you dummies that couldn't even get to work on time in the military.
Yeah,
as long as they discharge you with a general discharge, but it's under honorable conditions, you good. All right. Don't disqualify yourself. All right. Put the paperwork in and let them send something back quietly. You might slip through the cracks.
You might.
You're talking to a guy that, hey, I was working for the FAA. I was at work and got a call from HR in the FAA saying if I got some paperwork turned in, they had a position for me at another facility. They called me at work to tell me that. And I said,
he thought about it. He's like, wait, what facility is it?
For real. I told him, I said, well, you're telling me that if I turn this paperwork in, the FAA is going to hire me? And she said, yes. And I said, well, what if I'm already working for the FAA? When did you start that? I said, about a year ago. And then I told her, I said, you called me here at work. And she's like, oh, that's an FAA facility? Yes. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Federal government. You might slip through the cracks. Okay.
These fingers with the federal government have no idea what the other fingers are doing.
For real.
They really don't. And they don't care.
Nope. She was like, have a nice day. Enjoy your new job. Hung up the phone. Okay.
Bye-bye.
So you may slip through the crack. Seriously. So just be ready for that. Here's another thing that happened to me. I was working at a tower as an air traffic controller. And when you come out of the military, they weren't sending us to the academy. They were just sending us right to work. It was the program that we were hired under.
Yeah. Veterans Relocation Act, VRA.
The VRA, whatever it was. But so when I was working at my facility, you have to have a special certification in order to work at a tower. And you get that from the academy. So I was working at my facility And then my manager came down and said, hey, wait a minute, you don't have this certification. He said, you have to stop working right now. Mind you, I've been certified and working for like 2 or 3 years. So I was like, okay, what next? He says, well, you have to go to the academy to go take this certification. And I said, okay, well, what happens if I fail it? And he looked at me and walked out of the room, went back in the office and started making phone calls. And he came back and said, okay, we're going to have you take the test here. I guess I can tell you now. And mind you, someone sat there with me to make sure that I passed it. Now, the test wasn't that complicated, but they wanted to make sure that I did not fail that test because they needed me so bad.
Not only did they need him, they needed you so bad. But here's the thing: for the 2 years you were working, you know what kind of litigation they would have been under? What kind of scrutiny?
Seriously, I mean, but that right there shows you. I mean, they don't know with one hand. And mind you, I had the stuff in the military, and they found it later on, which is funny. They found it later on, but they just couldn't find it.
I went through the exact same thing. It was the CTO. I went through the exact same thing.
That's what it was. The CTO. That's what it was. The CTO.
I've been working for 5 years at I was working at the busiest general aviation airport on the planet at the time, the busiest airport. I'm there, and they're telling me same thing. Stop working right now. Like, I'm talking to 15 airplanes. Stop working. They pulled me out of there, and they were like, "You got to take this CTO." And I said the exact same thing. Well, what if I fail it? I was back to work later on that day.
Yeah, see, that's what it is. So, don't disqualify yourself. Put your paperwork in, take a shot. You may slip through the cracks. And once you're there, you're there. You know what I mean? For real. Unless you got a major felony, unless you pulled out a gun and did somebody, they're going to keep you around.
They're going to keep you around. They're going to find a way to keep you there because, again, they've invested so much money to that point. And if they lose you, that's going to cost them money in overtime. They got to train someone else to do it. It's going to cause all kind of headaches. They don't want you to leave.
Trust me, if I'm flying and I find out, I'm going to file a lawsuit too.
Hey, believe that. I'm trying to get paid. I'm suing y'all for $8 billion, but I'll settle for $15.99 right now.
Exactly. Buy dinner.
Yeah, buy dinner. And for you veterans out there, if you're claiming the 10-point veterans preference, you must also submit the completed SF-15, whatever that is, because I didn't get the 10-point preference. And that's that application for the 10-point veterans preference and supporting outlines in the SF-15. Yeah. These documents must be uploaded with your application in USA Jobs by the closing date of this announcement, or your application will be rejected. That's very important.
And that's why we keep harping on get the stuff ready early. Just get it ready early, have it uploaded in the system so it's ready to go. So all you have to do is hit submit. And let's say you did forget something, you forgot one thing, everything else is there. You just need that one thing. So just get it all ready now. And trust me, it's not the most, the system is not that great. So just make sure you have everything ready to go.
That system was designed by the lowest bidder. Keep that in mind, guys. So this is very important. And for you older folks who are over 31, who are listening to this or watching this, and you have some younger person in mind, when they go to USA Jobs, make sure every 10, 15 minutes or so that you save whatever it is you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And Jay Swans can tell you more about that because he dealt with the systems more than I did. I just came in and dealt with airplanes. He dealt with the systems and the passwords and the headaches of going into all these different programs. Bro, is it a thing where you get kicked out with all your work being deleted?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I haven't been in there in a while, but I'm not sure about when you're filling out the application for air traffic because there's not a lot of stuff you actually have to fill in. But, if you're going on there and you're looking at something that requires a KSN, skills, knowledge skills, and I forgot what the last acronym stands, but whatever, you have to actually type stuff in. That's when it gets to be interesting because it'll kick you out of the system and, you're just in there longer. The air traffic stuff, it should basically be, at least what it was before. It should basically be, upload, submit. There's not going to be a lot of stuff you're going to have to fill out. But if you have an opportunity to save your work, please save your work. Or if nothing else, get the stuff you need, put it on a Word doc, and have that Word doc there where you can just cut and paste if needed. That's
do that. So if when you guys go to USA Jobs, this is what it looks like. This is the main page for USA Jobs. Even here, they're always giving you information. First of all, the U.S. government is like the biggest employer on the planet, I believe, certainly in America, but maybe on the planet. There's so many jobs within the the U.S. government apparatus, and right now they're hiring for infrastructure jobs. I didn't even look at that for. So even if you don't want to be an air traffic controller, I would, for the people who are over 31, go through USA Jobs and just see what jobs they have out there. You might be surprised.
There are so many jobs out there. It's funny to me. People think it's so hard to get hired by the government. It's not. I think the government is one of the easier employers to get hired by.
Yes.
My wife, she's had, plenty of friends that were working for the state of California that had to jump through numerous hoops to get hired by California. I'm talking, they had to write essays and everything else to get hired. The federal government, you literally just upload your resume and click submit. And that's it. And then the hiring process. Yeah. I mean, it's literally that easy. In the hiring process, look, when they call you, they already want you.
Yep.
Okay. As long as you don't go in the interview and act like a-hole. I was trying to, I know you.
And even then, you
really?
Still might get the slide.
Seriously, depending on what your resume looks like, they'd be like, you know what, he's a smart a-hole, so let's keep him. But no, there's a ton of positions. The key to the government employment is that you have to be able to move. All right, you have to be willing to move because the jobs are all over the place. If there's jobs in your local area and you apply for a job in your local area, you're good. You're in your local area. But the more mobile you are, that the more opportunities you're going to have. And what is it? I'm trying to think what else. I mean, but whatever. It's really easy. And, people think it's way more difficult than it is. And I try to tell people this. There's a lot of remote positions to work from home. A lot of remote positions out there.
A lot. And all of the files and everything you need is attached to the job posting. So right here, when you go to USA Jobs, here's the page. If you want to just like your local or remote, like Jay Swans was saying, you can put in your city, your state, your zip code. You know what I mean? You
Bro, how about this? Just type in Tampa in the city,
and all the jobs will come up in that area, in that general area.
Just type it in there.
Oh, okay. I was gonna put in.
Do it.
So boom, there it is. We're viewing this is 1 of 25 of 1,438 jobs.
You type in Tampa?
Government jobs in the Tampa area, 25-mile radius.
Okay, now hey, do this. Go over to the right and click open to public.
And that narrows it down to 481 jobs.
Right now.
Intern
programs.
These are all government. You got police officer, handler, trainer. That starts at $48,000 to GS8. Student trainee, logistics management. I mean, a lot of logistics stuff. You got supervisor for police officers, right? And a lot of these, like this would be like some of these jobs, Department of Navy, U.S. Corps of Army Engineers, U.S. Air Force. A lot of this like Navy contract jobs or, working for the Navy, mathematician. Bro, I'll fail that. Physicist. There's just all sorts of jobs. And here in the Tampa area, because they have some Air Force facilities around here, this is, that's pretty much where they're going. IRS services.
Or type in
we're not gonna. They can play with it. They can play with it themselves. But my thing is this: when you go to USA Jobs, right? When you go to USAJobs.gov, air traffic control. If you want to find the air traffic control jobs, every government job has a series. The series for air traffic control is 2152. So you just type in 2152.
Yeah.
It'll pop up right there. Autofill 2152 air traffic control, 2100 series. And boom, it'll come up. And we didn't hit local area. You don't want to hit local area when you're looking at the jobs for air traffic. And again, same thing, FAA jobs, U.S. Army Force Command, Air National Guard. All these are air traffic control jobs. The bid for the job that we're talking about in this video hasn't come out yet. The bid is the job announcement. Again, it doesn't come out until what it said the 5th. So on the 5th, you'll be able to see this. Midnight on the 4th, actually, like 12 a.m., 12:01 a.m. On the 5th, it should be up.
And there will be people literally sitting there waiting for it to open up so they can get their stuff in. Hey, go down to one of those specialist positions and open one of those up.
Like for the
FAA specialist, yeah.
So here's a CPC job. CPC stands for Certified Professional Controller. That means a controller who's gone through all of the training and everything. They certified their first position. Now they can, try to work, apply anywhere. This job starts at $158,716,000 per year. It gives the code, the pay code behind it there. ATLH. That's not going to mean anything to you until you get into the business. This is for TRACON. I saw that. This is for C90, which is a radar job in Chicago. Chicago TRACON is one of the hardest facilities in the agency, in the business.
Bruh.
So
wait,
go ahead.
Skip that. Go back real quick. Check out what I just noticed. I'll tell you. There's a public hire right there on there right now for a position.
Is
for
it?
A flight service position. Go back to that.
Let me go back to 2152.
Yeah. Because they could apply for that right now. And most people don't even know about it. I bet you.
Right here. But this is a U.S. Army Forces.
No. Keep going.
That one?
Keep going down. No. Keep going. Keep going. There you go right there. Public notice, Alaska Flight Service Station Air Traffic Control Direct Hire. Click on that.
Okay.
Starting salary is $77,500.
Yeah, $77,500 to $120,51 per year.
That's
salary
right.
range. So who can?
It's a public notice, bro. Anybody.
Wow. So here you guys go.
Yeah.
So here the requirements right here. U.S. citizenship, selective service, everything you said. They have drug testing. This position is considered moderate risk, successful completion of security investigation. So get a security background check, 1 year probation. Everything in the conditions is going to be the same for the air traffic one. It has the qualifications here. Hey guys, if you're watching this right now, apply for this. If anything, just for practice, and then if you might get a job out of it.
And here's the thing: if you get a job in the flight service, let's say you get a job in the flight service at 25, you'll get, put it this way, your chances of getting into air traffic to work in a tower are even greater from there.
Oh, because that's within service. I guess FAA transfer.
Yeah. That's an automatic enter. Which I started out in flight service,
yes.
And I told you they came and saw me and were like, "What are you doing here? Come on, you're going to a tower." They came and got me, and the crazy part was I was making as much in flight services as I was making my first couple of years in the tower.
Yep.
Because the money's about the same. But I'll tell you this though, the training is way easier though, and you go to the academy just like you go for the other stuff. So you're going to the academy, all that stuff. So yeah, there it is right there. Starting salary $77,500.
Hey guys, and then the salary range, the range includes a 31.32% locality pay because it's in Alaska, right?
Yep.
That's 31 point. Yeah, and then authorized 2.01% or 3.53% COLA, depending on the assigned facility. So yeah, they wouldn't get and all these positions are in Alaska. Juneau, Homer, Fairbanks.
What's the opening and closing dates on that?
3/7/23, 1/24/24.
Bruh,
it's all year.
They're hiring desperately. So you put in for that. Go down again. You can see the locations in Alaska.
Yeah, Dillingham, Fairbanks, Homer, Juneau.
So they're hiring desperately for those positions right now. So they must be hurting really bad.
And think about it, guys. If you apply for this position, I don't think this has an age. This doesn't have an age requirement. So if you're over 31, you can apply for this as well.
So there you go. I don't know. Like I said,
it doesn't say it. It doesn't say the age requirement here.
Yeah.
So you can get into flight service, go to Alaska, make all this money, and you get paid for being in Alaska. The state pays you what, $2,000 a year or something like that?
Just a month. And mind you, once again, this is where you start. You don't have to stay in Alaska. There's flight service stations all over the country. I know there's 2 or 3 in California. I think there's 2 in Arizona. Actually, there's a couple in Florida, I think, too.
Yeah, there have to be. There have to be some flight service stations out here.
Anywhere where there's severe weather, there's going to be a flight service station.
So the Midwest, the South, all the Gulf Coast stuff, the coastal stuff, yeah.
So there you go, and and there you go, right there. There's a position right there that you can get into that's gonna pay you X amount of money. Now, once again, somebody's going, yeah, but it's Alaska. Well, you know what? You got to start somewhere. To tell you. Sometimes you got to sweep floors for a little while. That's just what it is. You got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere, y'all. So here it is right here. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I would fill out and I would definitely apply for this position just to get the practice on how to work this system. And then when next month, when the air traffic bid comes out, jump on that.
I would apply for it just to have, it's better to have 2 bullets than it is to have 1.
Ain't that's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Facts. So I would apply for it just so I could, hey, you know what? I didn't get this one, but they called me about that one. And that's what it's all about. I'm about to send it out to somebody right now.
Hey.
Oh, did you?
Look at that. Nail's already on it. What's good, sis?
Hey.
Hi, Kylo. Yeah, he was doing fine until I said something. I don't know why he mad at me. So it's probably mad at me because they ain't seen me in a while. So hey guys, that's it right there. This is me and Jay Swans telling you guys about the air traffic control job that's coming. That's coming. Then the announcement is coming next month, and we found a position that's open right now in Alaska for people to go out there and make $77,000 a year.
Starting, and that's not hold on. That's not including Sunday pay, night differential. It's the same package the air traffic controllers get. Same package you get in the tower.
So generally speaking, with air traffic, you can add what 10-15% to your base pay, and that's what you're going to be making.
I always tell people, whatever the base salary is, you can add 20 grand to it. That's what I always tell.
Just add 20 grand. So right there, that will be just a hair under $100,000 a year living in Alaska. So you're going to be stacking your money. This is where you start, and you can map out the rest of your career. And this series caps out at $120,000 a year.
Yo, here's the other thing too. So you get into flight service, right? And let's say you're making $110,000 while you're sitting there. You transfer over to go work at the tower. You don't go back to the tower at the developmental pay. You go back to the pay plus, I want to say, is it plus 5 or 6%? Because it's technically it'll be a promotion. So so you'll go over to the tower at basically at your current salary plus 6 or 7% on top of that. So you'll be a trainee walking in the door, and that's no matter where you go. Okay, so let's say you go to the lowest level facility in the country. All right. And let's say that the manager there is making only $110,000. You'll go over there at 110 plus 6%, making more than the manager.
So you making more than your boss.
You don't ever go back. You always go forward.
Never go backwards. Making more than your boss. Where can you do that in the private sector?
Seriously. So you'll so basically, like I always tell the story about that kid the one in Sacramento that his mom told him he couldn't do the job because they're not going to play a black man that kind of money. He ended up going to the New York Commandant, and from the day we had that conversation, he went to the Air Force, and I think he was in the Air Force for 6 years. No, he went to the National Guard. So he was only there for like 3 or 4 years. And
did he apply to be a hitman online?
For real, bro. I'm telling you. But no, what? Because I just know he's certified. He's certified about a week before his 21st birthday. So it wasn't even that long. And he was making $170,000 a year, and he certified a week before his 21st birthday. You know what I mean? So it couldn't have been because he went into the National Guard. So, and I talked to him when he was 16. So yeah, about 4 or 5 years. And this was a kid whose mom told him that he can't do that job because they're not going to pay no black man that much money. And then it was, well, you're not smart enough. You struggle in school, that kind of thing. And this cat, he making more than probably his parents combined, probably his parents and grandparents combined.
Guarantee it. Common eye. That's one of those guys that if he works hard enough, that's close to 300,000 with OT and everything.
And there you go. You know what I mean? And that kid was like, I don't know what to do with all this money. Buy a house. Start investing now.
Yeah, that opens the door to other problems. I would love to have those conversations with somebody who's watching this video and applies and gets the job. And we got all this money. I don't know what to do with it. We would love to sit you down with Brother Tarus. You can go back and watch that video we did on investments and stuff like that. So, y'all, this is it right there. I don't know what else to say. This is it. Yeah. The Federal Aviation Administration is hiring air traffic controllers and flight service specialists. The flight service specialist announcement is out here right now. It's open right now. I put it in the link. You can apply for this job, and the starting salary is $77,000 a year, and air traffic is more than that. And to be an air traffic controller, they're going to pay for your training. No experience necessary. All you need is a high school diploma or equivalent.
Seriously.
What else can we say, y'all?
I gotta say it. I gotta say this. Lauren Boebert could be an air traffic controller.
She
For
sure
her
can.
GED.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart.
Yo.
She sure can. People,
Yeah.
people, if you're over 31, apply for that flight service job. If you're under 31, go to USA Jobs and apply next month when the announcement comes out. Also apply for this flight service job. Don't be those people who are like, well, I can't leave my area. Leave. Go where the money is. Go where the money is. This will change your life.
Yeah, people that stay in one location die. And that's been shown throughout history. All right.
It's facts.
Be mobile. All right. Be mobile. That's how you get ahead. You know, be mobile. Be prepared to move. Be prepared to do different things. And once you establish yourself, then you're good. But you know what? Like I told my sons, you're young. You can go work anywhere in the world. Don't sit at home. Go work in Bali. You know, go work in Greece. Go work in Colombia. You know, go anywhere. Don't sit at home. Be mobile. See the world. You know, go. Don't be afraid to leave your home. Go see the world. Become worldly. All right. Just because you saw it on TV doesn't make you an expert. All right.
Go touch it. Go touch it. So that's it, man. I think we covered everything, man. Yo, bro, outstanding job as always, man. I want to give Jay Swans a hand. I know he's busy. He took time out of his busy schedule to come talk to y'all out there. A bunch of strangers he ain't never met in real life and is trying to put you on. Please share this video. I don't care if you don't look at anything else on this platform. I don't care about none of that. Give this to the person who needs to see it. Please.
Yeah, definitely. Get off that drama. You know, DNL and I talked about this earlier. Stop looking for all the drama. All right. Look for opportunities to better yourself. All right. Take advantage of those situations. Yeah, you know, it's fun to watch the car crash, you know, but it's also better for you to get to work. Go make that money. You know what I mean? So that kind of thing. So just start watching the stuff that benefits you.
I want to see more 50-year-olds and 40, 45, 46, 47-year-olds retire, just waking up, making money. You can do this in this profession, or you can work. You can go the distance. Yeah. It's up to you, but the opportunity is there. Please get this in the hands of those who need to see it. And again, if anyone is out there who's watched our stuff, we did this almost a year ago with the last hire. If anyone did listen to this and did get in and are hired and working in the FAA, let us know. Hit us up.
Yeah, for real.
Hit us up. You know what I mean? Let us know. We don't want nothing from you. We just want to know you did it. Hey, man, I'm in. And that's going to make my day. And I know it's going to make his day.
No doubt. For real.
You know what I mean? So that's all we got for y'all, people. We done. You know what I'm saying? That's Jay Swans. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast.
I did it right.
Yeah, that's it. We gonna holler at y'all later, man. Peace.
Peace.
Darn, that's the end.
This creeps me out, man.
I don't know why.